Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another yoga class today. Today, we're focusing on opening up and balancing the energies in our third eye chakra. And our third eye is located here, and it's often said to be our pineal gland in the center of our brain. And this is the center of our intuition, our insight, and clairvoyance, and other related things. And here is the symbol of our third eye chakra, our third eye. And the color representing our third eye chakra, which we can focus on today in this practice, is the color purple, a vibrant, bright purple color. And so also are the qualities associated with this third eye chakra is soul realization, sorry, intuition, insight, imagination, clairvoyance, concentration, peace of mind, wisdom, devotion, and higher levels of perception. And I'm going to read a little quote to get us into our practice today as we're beginning to feel centered, feeling grounded in our bodies, being ready for this practice, and focusing on this present state of awareness, energy through our body. If you're conscious, you are alert, you are intuitive, there's no place for error. You will be tested, but that's the nature of life. When life is rough, be very calm. Go inside and find your soul. Be neutral and be meditative, and the way will become more clear. Go inside and listen to your inner voice. Every question has an answer. Look deeper and listen to that inner voice. So that brings us beautifully into our practice today. We can go ahead and make our way to our yoga mats. And a beautiful way to balance our third eye chakra is to do meditations and creative visualizations. So at the end of this practice, I'm going to be walking everyone through a guided meditation. But to start this practice, we're going to sit up nice and tall in our seated cross-legged position. We can also extend our feet out in front of us if this is more comfortable for our hip flexors. Or we can come into whatever seated position feels comfortable for us. You can even lift one leg on top. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's inhale together, breathing in through our nose, reaching our hands up to the sky, and then meeting our hands together at our third eye. Beginning to focus on our third eye. Focusing on a small purple, bright light growing from the center of our third eye. Getting brighter and brighter. Expanding and opening up our higher levels of connection, oneness, trusting ourselves, and trusting our intuition as a guiding force in our life. Inhaling, reaching our arms up to the sky, and exhaling, opening up. We're going to start with a breath practice called our alternate nostril breath. And this is a great way to balance the energies between yin and yang, balancing left and right side, and also bringing all of our chakras into alignment. So we're going to start and place 2 fingers at the third eye. And then our thumb is going to be on one side of our nose, and then our other 2 fingers are going to be on the other side. So we're going to start by placing our fingers at our 2 fingers at our third eye, other finger on the right side of our nose. And we're going to close off one nostril, and we're going to breathe into the opposite nostril. So closing off, breathing into the left nostril, holding at the top, holding, and then switching your fingers, closing off the opposite nostril, and then exhaling through the right side. Inhaling again through the right side. Holding at the top, closing off that right nostril, opening up the other side, and then exhaling through the left side. Inhaling again through the left side, holding at the top, closing that left nostril, opening up through the right nostril. And then we're just going to flow through this pattern, working through our alternate nostril breath. And then exhaling, meeting our hands back to the third eye. Inhaling through our nose and exhaling, releasing, hands back to heart center. We're going to swivel around our legs, making our way down to our child's pose. Releasing forward into the child's pose, opening up through our knees so that we can release our upper bodies down onto the mat, placing our forehead at our third eye on the yoga mat. We can also stack our hands and place our forehead on our hands that are stacked. Just releasing for a moment here, letting go of our lower back. Walking our hands both to the right side. And shifting our hips to the left. Stretching out to the left side of our back. And then walking our hands back to the center. And then shifting our hips to the other side. Walking our hands to the other side of the mat. And back to center. Now we're gonna bring our knees a little closer in towards each other. We're gonna reach back to our heels, releasing our forehead down to the mat, and we're gonna roll up onto our head, reaching towards our heels. And then rounding back down, releasing onto our third eye. And we're just gonna move through this a couple times, waking up, rolling over our third eye chakra, as well as our crown chakra here. And then placing our hands back under our shoulders, rolling up through our spine, coming into our seated hero position. Inhaling, sweeping up with our arms, opening our heart up to the sky. And then placing our hands down on the mat, we're going to begin to come into our cat-cow flow. And so in our cat position, contracting, arching through the spine, releasing into our cow position. Maybe tucking under our toes and sitting back a little bit. Arching into the cat position, rounding through the spine, and then releasing into the cow position, sitting back on our heels if we'd like to, or just dropping through our spine, opening up. Moving through a couple more here, moving at our own pace, making sure that we have a slight bend in our elbows. Our elbows are pointing outward, just really waking up our entire spine, finding movement, finding the joy in our movement, and finding our flow. Moving with a sense of ease. Engaging our centers as we're in the cat position. And meeting back in the neutral position. Now let's take this from side to side. So let's look towards our back hips and then center. So we're staying in the flat back. Now we're just moving laterally from side to side and center. Looking towards our hips and back to center. Looking to our hips and back to center. Wonderful job. And we're gonna tuck under our toes, lifting up our hips up to the sky, coming into our first down dog, beginning to walk through our feet, walking the dog, pedaling through our feet, lifting one heel up at a time, maybe choosing to keep both knees bent here. Reaching both heels down to the mat. Breathing in, bending through our knees. We're going to walk our feet to meet our hands at the front of our mat, coming into our forward fold, feeling free to keep our knees nice and bent here. Releasing through our neck. Interlacing our hands behind our back, opening up into the chest opener. Just breathing here. Maybe extending our legs now. Releasing through our arms, looking up halfway, releasing back down, bending through our knees, swan diving up, flat back up, bending through our knees. Our hands meet overhead and hands meet at heart center. Taking a moment to find our tall mountain stance, lifting up through our centers. Standing tall here, our arms by our sides, our palms opening up out in front of us. Lifting up through our centers. Inhaling, sweeping our arms up. We're going to start to move through a couple sun salutations to get moving, opening up our arms, swan diving down, bending through our knees. We're going to step back, right foot steps back, coming into the kneeling lunge, reaching our arms up to the sky. Placing our hands back down on the mat, tucking under the back toes, lifting up the back knee, and we're going to take a big step back to our down dog. Bending through the knees and lengthening, bending again and lengthening. Shifting our hips forward, meeting into the plank or coming to the modified plank. Whatever is within our practice today. Shifting forward slightly, lowering down, elbows hug in towards our sides. Then a chaturanga or modified chaturanga, lifting up through our centers, shifting our forearms forward, coming into the baby cobra. Releasing back down, forehead down to the mat. Placing our weight into our hands, shifting all the way back into the child's pose. Shifting forward into the all fours, tucking under our toes, lifting our heels back to the down dog. Now we're going to step our right foot forward now, stepping forward into the lunge. And then left foot steps to meet the right foot in the lunge, meeting together in our forward fold. Bending through our knees, opening up our arms, we swan dive back up, hands meet over our head, and hands meet at heart center. Wonderful job. Let's repeat this again. Inhaling, sweeping our arms up, looking up to the sky. Exhale, opening through our arms, reaching back down, releasing into our forward fold. Now we step back with our left foot steps down, lowering the knee down to the mat, untucking the toes, coming up slightly, reaching our arms above our head, meeting our palms together. Holding here in the lunge, opening up through the front of our hip, releasing back down, our hands meet down, tucking under the back toes, lifting up the back knee. Now stepping our left foot steps back into a down dog. Bending and extending our knees, bending and extending, really lifting up our hips up to the sky, bending and extending. Shifting forward into the plank or meeting in our modified plank. Whatever version feels good for us today. lifting up through our centers, really lifting up through our belly buttons, shifting our weight forward, lowering down slowly with control through our chaturanga dandasana, lowering down to our bellies, shifting our forearms forward, lifting up through our centers, lowering back down to the mat, placing our hands underneath our shoulders, lifting up through our centers, pushing ourselves all the way back to the child's pose, shifting forward into the all fours, tucking under through our toes, lifting our hips back up to the sky in the down dog, bending through our knees and extending. Now stepping the left foot forward into the lunge, the right foot steps to meet the left foot, bending through our knees, deepening the bend, opening up through our arms, meeting our palms together above our head, and hands back to heart center. Wonderful job. Let's meet in the center of our mats, and we're going to come into a balancing position, bring us really to center our energies and working to improve our balance. We're going to come into the standing pigeon position. So first, let's shift our weight into the left foot. Picking up the right foot, we're going to cross the foot over top of the knee, coming almost into a figure four stretch. And then we're going to start bending through our knees. And our hands can stay at heart center. If we'd like more of a challenge, we could lift our hands up to our third eye, bending deeper through our hips. Maybe reaching our fingertips all the way down to the ground. Maybe this offers us a little bit of assistance with our balance. Coming into whatever version is good for us today. We can also hold on to something beside us to help us with our balance. Really releasing through the hip. Sitting back a little bit deeper and then coming up slowly with control, lifting our knee up and then releasing it down. And then let's shake everything out, releasing any stagnant energy. Shake, shake, shake. And now let's shift our weight into the right side now, picking up the left foot, crossing the left foot over the right knee and starting to bend. Bend through our standing leg, meeting our hands together at heart center. For more of a challenge, bringing our hands up to our third eye. And finding our balance here, maybe choosing to move our fingertips down to the mat. Whatever we'd like to do today that is within our practice. And then coming up slowly with control. And it's okay, we're not always on our balance, but just accepting ourselves wherever we are. Standing up tall, lifting our knee up high. And then releasing our leg down. Shake it all out. Shake, shake, shake. Let's take a big step, meeting together at the front of our mats, standing tall in our Tadasana, our standing mountain position. Inhaling, we sweep up our arms, opening up our hands, bending down, coming down through a swan dive. Stepping back into our down dog. Making sure that we're still connecting with our breath here. And then just bending through our knees, lowering down, sitting back into the child's pose. Letting our forehead just relax onto the mat. We're going to shift back forward, shifting back into all fours. Then we're going to move into our thread the needle flow. So lifting up the right arm up to the sky, opening up through the third eye, looking up to the sky, opening up through our chest, and then rounding our arm, curving through, twisting, opening up to the opposite side, looking up to the sky, twisting through our spine, and then extending back up to the sky, opening up. We're just going to repeat this a couple times in our thread the needle flow. And let's do this one more time, curving our arm, reaching down, opening up, And then placing our hand back underneath our shoulder. Now let's lift our left arm up to the sky, looking up to the sky, curving our arm down, threading the needle. Curving it up. And then reaching down. Meeting back in the all fours position. We're going to swivel around our legs. We're going to start to make our way down to our mats. Rolling down through our spine. We're going to move into a couple bridge flows before we move into our guided meditation that I'll be walking everyone through. Finding our way down to the mats. Laying on our back, our feet are planted on the mat, scooting our heels a little closer in. We're going to work through our bridge flows. Rolling up through our spine, coming to the top of our bridge, and releasing back down, rolling through with control. And so we can either begin to move through our bridge flows, or if we'd like to, we can add in our arms into this flow. Inhaling as we lift up, lifting up through our arms, bringing our energies upward, up to our third eye, opening up that clear vision, clear creativity, communication, releasing back down. Rolling it up in our bridge. As we inhale, bringing our energy up, opening up the pathways for our clear vision and insight, connecting to our higher wisdom, releasing back down. Rolling up again, lifting up through our arms, up to the sky, and then rolling back down, lifting up and down. Let's move through a couple more. Connecting our movement to our breath, inhaling as we lift up, and exhaling as we lower back down. Wonderful job. And let's just hug our knees into our chest now, rocking from side to side, getting to feel a sense of calmness wash over our whole entire bodies, just rocking from side to side. Now coming into our happy baby position, lifting our legs up to the sky, bending through our knees, reaching towards the outside part of our feet, releasing here. Really breathing into the stretch. Bringing our legs back together and releasing our legs down to the mat, one leg at a time. Moving into our final relaxation today, relaxing our arms by our sides, our palms up to the sky, inviting new energy into our bodies. We can relax our eyes closed here. I'm going to start to guide us through our meditation here. Beginning to bring our awareness inward as we're getting ready for this meditation. Bringing our awareness into our breath. Noticing the rise and fall in our chest, the natural rhythm of our breath, not trying to control our breath. Just taking notice of ourselves and how we're feeling right now in this present moment. sitting with our breath for a few moments. And if you ever find your thoughts wandering, gently come back to this third eye chakra meditation. Thoughts are perfectly okay. Let them come, welcome them, and then gently let them go like waves in the ocean. By coming back to this meditation, being kind to ourselves. Now we can take a moment or two to take 3 deep breaths. Or we can take 3 deep yawns or fake yawns. We can breathe in together, opening up through our mouth. 1 big yawn. Taking another big yawn. And 1 more. Bringing our awareness back to the natural pace of our breath. Breathing in deeply, first into our bellies, then into our chest. Inhaling as much as we can. And then slowly beginning to release the air, starting with our chest, releasing through the rib cage, and then into our bellies, fully releasing. Let's do this for 1 more breath. Breathing into our bellies, filling up our rib cage, and lifting through our chest. Exhaling deeply, breathing out through our chest, releasing our rib cage, and releasing the belly. Wonderful job. Bringing our awareness and attention into the root of our being, the base of our spine, our root chakra. A tiny ball of red energy spins here. See this energy center as a red pin of light. Allow this light to grow and surround your body. Moving up a few inches, just below the navel, below our belly buttons. This is our creative center, our sacral chakra. Beautiful orange light spins here. It is the size of a pin. And as we inhale, we'll allow this orange light to grow to the size of a marble and then even bigger, surrounding our whole body. Beautiful, brilliant orange. Moving up above the belly button, we have a tiny yellow light that spins in our solar plexus chakra, in the center between our lower ribs. As we inhale, we're going to grow this yellow light surrounding our chest, followed by our entire being. A beautiful, bright yellow light surrounding us. Now we bring our attention to our heart. In the center area of our chest, a tiny green light spins here. This light is unconditional love. On our next inhale, growing this beautiful green light to surround our entire bodies. A beautiful green light surrounding our bodies. On our next inhale, moving up into our throat chakra. A tiny light of sky blue shines here. Grow this light as you breathe in. Allow it to expand. Allow it to cover our entire bodies, expanding outwards. A beautiful blue light. Moving our energy focus to the space between our eyebrows and our third eye. This is where our third eye chakra center is. See a tiny indigo blue light spinning here. The light is a center of our inner wisdom, our intuition, our connectedness and oneness with the universe, everything around us. This is the light of inner wisdom, intuition, and connectedness. As we inhale, we're going to grow this light to cover our entire head, the beautiful purple, a beautiful indigo light. Allowing this light to expand and occupy the whole entire space around our body. Continuing to breathe in and out with this indigo light all around us for several breaths. Our wisdom grows, our connection to ourself and those around us just increases. You feel your judgment of others diminishing, replacing by understanding and unconditional love. Through this indigo light, you feel the sense of your intuition becoming stronger. Your ability to seek and find truth grows with the balancing of this energy center. Just relaxing, bathing here in this beautiful light. As we move our energy up to our crown chakra, now we picture a brilliant white light surrounding ourselves, bathing in a beautiful white light. Beginning to wake up our bodies. Nice and slow, we're going to wiggle our fingers and toes. Wiggling our fingers and toes. Maybe circling through our ankles and wrists. Bending through our knees whenever we're ready, rocking our knees from side to side, waking our bodies back up, rocking our knees from side to side. Whenever we're ready, lifting one arm above our head, rolling onto the side into our fetal position, pressing ourselves up into our tall seated position, meeting back together in the seated position. Inhaling together, we sweep up our arms above our head. Exhale, meeting our hands to our third eye. Expressing gratitude to ourselves today for taking time to focus on our health and well-being, opening up insight and better wisdom, oneness and connection with all in our third eye chakra flow. I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day, and together we say namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I will see you in another yoga video very soon. Thank you.